In the era of David and Solomon, Israel rose to prominence among nations, presenting abundant opportunities to exert a profound influence in the name of truth and righteousness. The exaltation of Jehovah's name and the realization of the divine purpose for the Israelites in the Promised Land seemed imminent. Barriers crumbled, and seekers of truth from heathen lands found satisfaction. Conversions occurred, and the earthly church of God flourished and expanded. Solomon, anointed and proclaimed king during the twilight of his father David's reign, held promise for a reign marked by righteousness. His father, recognizing the necessity for both rulers and people to diligently pursue the divine standard, imparted valuable counsel. Solomon was urged not merely to be a warrior, statesman, and sovereign, but to embody qualities of goodness, righteousness, and fidelity. David's dying charge emphasized the importance of just rule and the fear of God, likening it to the morning light and the tender grass nourished by rain. The God of Israel spoke, "The Rock of Israel said to me, He who rules the people with justice, who rules in the fear of God, is like the light of the morning, at sunrise of a cloudless dawn, the glistening after the rain, on the sprouting grass of the earth." 2 Samuel 23:3-4. Solomon's potential was monumental. If he adhered to his father's inspired guidance, his rule would mirror the ideals depicted in Psalm 72. This psalm envisioned a king judging with righteousness, bringing prosperity, peace, and global admiration. Nations would pay homage, and the king would champion the cause of the needy and the poor. Prayer and continual praise would surround him, ensuring a lasting legacy of blessing for all nations. Psalm 72. In his youth, Solomon embraced David's principles, leading a life characterized by obedience to God's commands. Early in his reign, he demonstrated humility by seeking divine guidance at the tabernacle in Gibeon, acknowledging the magnitude of kingly duties. Solomon's plea for an understanding heart to judge God's people resonated with sincerity, earning divine favor and a promise of unparalleled wisdom and understanding. One night at Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream, and God said, "Ask, and I will give it to you." Solomon replied, "You have shown much loving devotion to your servant, my father David, because he walked before you in faithfulness, righteousness, and uprightness of heart. And you have maintained this loving devotion by giving him a son to sit on his throne this very day. And now, O Lord my God, you have made your servant king in my father David's place. But I am only a little child, not knowing how to go out or come in. Your servant is here among the people you have chosen, a people too numerous to count or number. Therefore, give your servant an understanding heart to judge your people and to discern between good and evil. For who is able to govern this great people of yours?" Now it pleased the Lord that Solomon had made this request. So God said to him, "Since you have asked for this instead of requesting long life or wealth for yourself or death for your enemies, but you have asked for discernment to administer justice, behold, I will do what you have asked. I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there has never been nor will ever be another like you. Moreover, I will give you what you did not request, both riches and honor, so that during all your days no man in any kingdom will be your equal. So if you walk in my ways and keep my statutes and commandments, just as your father David did, I will prolong your days." 1 Kings 3:5-14. We find exactly the same conversation in another book of the Bible, Chronicles, which happened in this way. And that night God appeared to Solomon and said, "Ask, and I will give it to you." Solomon replied to God, You have shown much loving devotion to my father David, and you have made me king in his place. Now, O Lord God, let your promise to my father David be fulfilled. For you have made me king over a people as numerous as the dust of the earth. Now grant me wisdom and knowledge, so that I may lead this people. For who is able to govern this great people of yours? God said to Solomon, since this was in your heart, instead of requesting riches or wealth or glory for yourself or death for your enemies, and since you have not even requested long life, but have asked for wisdom and knowledge to govern my people over whom I have made you king. Therefore, wisdom and knowledge have been granted to you. And I will also give you riches and wealth and honor unlike anything given to the kings before you or after you. 2 Chronicles 1:7-12. God's assurance to be with Solomon paralleled his presence with David. The condition for a prolonged reign was adherence to God's statutes and commandments. Solomon's throne would elevate Israel as a beacon of wisdom and understanding among nations. Observe them carefully, for this will show your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the peoples, who will hear of all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Deuteronomy 4:6. Solomon's prayer at Gibeon highlighted his humility and desire to honor God. Acknowledging his dependence on divine aid, he sought wisdom without selfish aspirations for personal exaltation. His confession, I am but a little child, I know not how to go out or come in, reflected a genuine acknowledgement of reliance on God. 1 Kings 3:7. Modern leaders should draw inspiration from Solomon's prayer, recognizing the correlation between their positions, responsibilities, and the need for divine wisdom. Seeking wisdom above wealth, power, or fame ensures alignment with God's will. The call to work is synonymous with the call to walk circumspectly, emphasizing that holiness results from honoring and obeying God's commands. James 1:5. Leadership is challenging, demanding a reliance on prayer to navigate difficulties. The path to effective leadership involves consulting God for wisdom, discerning right from wrong, and resisting the introduction of wrong principles into God's cause. True leaders, endowed with discernment and ability, prioritize understanding over high position, eschewing eagerness for supremacy. Proverbs 1:5. Solomon's life initially reflected devotion, uprightness, and strict obedience, winning the admiration of his subjects and neighboring rulers. The honor given to Jehovah during Solomon's early reign stemmed from his wise use of heavenly gifts, showcasing the excellence of God's attributes. Solomon recognized the favor of Jehovah and sought to impart knowledge of the King of Kings to the world. In his pursuit of wisdom, Solomon delved into natural history, gaining a profound understanding of the Creator. His songs and proverbs, numbering in the thousands, expressed divine inspiration, outlining principles of holy living and godly endeavor. The principles disseminated during Solomon's reign uplifted morality and contributed to material prosperity. Solomon's proverbs emphasize the incomparable value of wisdom and understanding. The fear of the Lord was deemed the beginning of wisdom, and hatred for evil was essential. Regrettably, Solomon's later years witnessed a departure from these principles, as pride and arrogancy led him to take glory due to God alone. The story of Solomon serves as a timeless lesson for leaders today. Embracing humility, seeking divine wisdom, and prioritizing righteousness are the keys to effective and God-honoring leadership. The call to lead is a call to walk circumspectly, relying on the source of all wisdom for guidance. As leaders apply these principles, They contribute not only to their personal growth, but also to the upliftment of society and the glorification of God.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.